This is my watch list for Friday, June 5th. All right, so what happened yesterday? Pretty big gap down on the market, and then we wound up squeezing intraday and reclaimed. However, this looks like a lower high to me, right? We finally put in a lower high because we had a pretty big sell-off in the afternoon and then the overnight session, and now we're gapping down again today. We're gapping back below my 755 level, okay? So this is my pivot on spot today, 755. We're below 755, we can look for shorts. If we reclaim 755, then we can look for longs on individuals, we can look for longs on the market, okay? 750 is demand as well as 748, all right? I would not be shorting into this because we have a lot of demand in this area. This 750 to 748 is very, very big. So I'll just say be cautious if you're looking to short down here. If you were to short anywhere, I'd look for failures right here, right at the 755. QQQ, a bit different. Tech is very weak. All right, semiconductors are finally getting some nice sells, and the Qs are down almost 1% here. We failed my 743 level. This put in another. This is definitely a lower high on the Qs, okay? Because now we're actually creating a new low, right? We're back at yesterday's lows, and 731 is my big level here. If we get below 731, I like this for shorts and to 725, okay? We can get a nice $6 move on the Qs if we get below 731, and then below 725, my next level is right here, this pivot, 722, okay? All right, let's look at some individuals. Apple, this can go one of two ways. I like this below 309 for shorts and to 305, or if this stays strong and gets above 315, then we can look for longs on Apple. This can go one of two ways. It depends what happens with the market, okay? Like I said, semiconductors are starting to sell. AMD down 2.5% here in the pre-market. If this gets below 500, it can go to 485. If it gets below 485, it can go to 470, which is this hourly structure from back here, Monday, May 11th. Amazon, we took this beautiful trade on Wednesday for the breakdown, and then you guys, with Brett, caught the reject yesterday, this 255 reject. Really, really nice. This, however, honestly, this doesn't look super weak to me. It's only down 0.29%. I actually closed the day pretty strong yesterday. If we reclaim 255, I like this for longs, okay? If we fail 255 again, can look for shorts, but this to me is not looking super weak, right? It had the opportunity to sell all day yesterday and it didn't. Maybe if it gets below this 252, which was yesterday's low and the pre-market low, then we could look for shorts on Amazon again. But if we reclaim 255, this is a long at this point, if we reclaim 255, okay? Google, not watching anything here. Meta is back at this 624 level, right? This was the range breakout. This chart is all over the place. This is why I don't really like to trade Meta. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like we had the breakout and then it flushed all the way back down to support. Then out of nowhere we reclaimed. This chart's just all over the place. But I will say this: if we are above 624, I would not be shorting Meta. Okay. Microsoft, similar chart, right? We ripped. Came all the way back down to test this range. We actually flushed below the range, and if we reclaim that range, this 433, this looks like a good long. I think Rav was talking about Microsoft yesterday. He'll probably trade this today. All right, so maybe focus on that with him. Netflix, nothing. PLTR, almost back at my big demand area. This whole zone here, you guys can see from 140 to 138. This is the level that PLTR has to hold. In my opinion, we have to hold right here. Otherwise, this thing is going to sell all the way back down to 130 or lower, okay? NVIDIA, we got that 218 reclaim. I talked about this yesterday. I said the only place I would long is if we reclaim 218. We got a nice move. It was like a $3 move into 221, 222. And then now we're just gapping back below 218. Okay, so this chart is... It's in a bit of a limbo area. I would say if we do reclaim, 220, maybe 221, yesterday's highs, then you could look for longs on this again. But I wouldn't be long down here, right? Since we gap back below 218, I'd be careful longing this name. Tesla, like I mentioned with the SpaceX IPO, just be careful with this name. It is still in this trend. This is a beautiful hourly uptrend, but just be careful. We have that SpaceX IPO next week. And this could make a big move. I was talking about this with Brett, right? If we get over 450, we have a gamma squeeze to 500. But the same thing, I mean, if this loses this hourly trend, then we could sell all the way back down into the mid 300s, somewhere down here. Okay, so maybe you could try a strangle or something on this, right? Maybe something buy some calls and puts to a month out and see what happens, right? I think it's gonna get a big move one way or the other. Okay, so that's my watch for today. Let's see what happens. A lot of good potential setups. As long as we get a nice move in the market, we can take something. All right. Let's see our equity positions. Mud is up another 4% this morning. It was up 7% yesterday. That's moving well. And then we are long SOXS, which is a bearish short of the SOX. This is up 9% this morning, was up 6% yesterday. This was a inverse ETF for the SOX, which is the semiconductor ETF. So semiconductors, there you go, down almost 3% in the pre-market here. All right. If we lose 580 on SOX, this is dead. We're going to go all the way back down to 555. Okay. All right. So that's my watch for today. Happy Friday. I'll see you guys on live.